Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about PCOS, what PCOS is, how I maintain my PCOS symptoms, and how I lost weight with PCOS. PCOS is called PCOS because it is a polycystic ovary syndrome. And what that means is sometimes females can have more of an abnormal growth of cysts when it comes to their ovaries, and this can often impact our day-to-day lives when it comes to, for example, our mood changes, our sleep habits, our weight changes, and it affects everyone differently. And I'll speak about how it affected me when I was diagnosed and how I was diagnosed and what pushed me to get some help for it. So my symptoms began when I was in high school, and it started with period changes and weight changes and hair changes. So I was diagnosed when I was 17, and I dealt with a lot of insomnia, a lot of mood changes, and at first I was like, maybe this is normal, maybe this is part of being a teenager, and maybe this is just something that I need to get used to. However, there were so many things that were happening back to back that it just was not normal at that point. So I decided to ask my doctor to get an appointment with a specialist, and I was diagnosed after they did an ultrasound and they did some blood tests. And yeah, that day I felt like my life was done. Like anybody that was diagnosed with PCOS, I'm sure you guys know what I mean by when you think your life is over. Like there's nothing that can cure it. There's nothing that, can physically remove it. Like it's not like something that we can just get a cure for. You just have to manage it for the rest of your life. So after that, I started to notice more symptoms as I started to hit my 20s. So around 21, I dealt with a lot of hair thinning. So in high school, I had really thick, long hair. And no matter what I did, I just kept thinning, and I just had to keep cutting it shorter because I was dealing with so much breakage and all of that. So it's not only a disease that strips you out of your confidence, but also something that emotionally tears you down as well. And I just want everyone to understand that if you have someone with PCOS around you, like it could be very mentally draining. So please don't take anything personal when it comes to sudden mood shifts and stuff like that. But with PCOS, you kind of have to do your own research. Doctors will try to put you on all of these medications, and I'm just not saying that they're not useful. Everything works differently for everyone. For me, I decided not to take any medication, at least prescription wise, and I just kind of went through the research myself, getting inositol and just watching my diet and trying to balance that androgen hormone of mine. And the thing is, another symptom that I was constantly dealing with was excessive growth of facial hair. And I know that is so embarrassing for some girls because we're not expected to grow facial hair. So I got into laser, and then I got all these sessions done, and I went to electrolysis, and then it's just a very long journey, and it feels never ending. And I just kind of accepted it just around 22, 23 that I'm gonna have to just live with this and just manage it however most I can. And I'm just still continuing my inositol and my vitamins and my healthy eating. And you just kind of get to the rhythm of it, and you just kind of grow used to all those daily habits that you go through. Also, with the weight loss, anyone with the insulin resistance or any type of PCOS, that is, you guys will understand what I mean by there will be people around you that can eat so much food and they don't gain weight. But with PCOS, it's like I would go out and I would take a breath and I already gained weight. Like the bloating is crazy. You know, you step on the scale and then you feel so demotivated when you're going to the gym consistently and you're just like, why isn't anything working? Why isn't anything, you know, like anything I do is just not getting me to where I want to be. So I had to take the time to like come up with this whole plan that involves diets and, you know, workout plans. And at first I was like, if I want to lose weight, I gotta go running, you know. So I started with really intense workouts only to find out that that's actually not the way to go. Like women with PCOS, we should keep it low intensity and something that's not gonna strike our cortisol levels, right? So after, you know, all that research and slowly learning more about it, I kind of adapted to a lifestyle that worked for me, and it's been working. It has its days where it's just like, oh my god, I don't want to continue doing this, you know, but you kind of just adapt to it. And so I just, like, the way I lost weight was I got into Pilates and I got into low intensity workouts. So what that looks like is I still continue to go onto the treadmill, of course, but it was more of like low intensity walking and swimming. And even if I did do weights, I would do very low weights. And I'm a gym girl, so I love to lift weights, but I just had to think about the fact that I might wake up even more bloated than I, you know, or I might have gained more weight just by doing what I was doing in the gym. So I had to keep it slow and steady, and I still did the things I like to do and just got more into walking, and that helped me immensely. And just, it was very discouraging at first because no matter what plan I took online and no matter how many advice I would get from others around me about weight loss, I just knew that my body was not the same as everyone else's. So that just something that I had to accept. So I ended up actually going into all of these strategies of like weight loss and how to lose weight with PCOS, and I just had to like make a plan of my own, as I mentioned, and I did a water fast. Okay, but as you guys know, that's not very like sustainable, and I didn't do the water fast like in means of wanting to lose weight because I know that's not going to be a very healthy long-term choice. The water fast was more for spiritual reasons, but it helped me understand more about my habits when it came to eating. So I just focused on a keto diet, or like as we would say, the OMAD diet, which was 1 meal a day, and I was not eating more than once a day. So I was fasting for 24 hours. I would say 23, but I had a window of eating for 4 hours. So let's say 20 hours I wasn't eating anything. And then the 4-hour window, I would just have that one meal and maybe a snack. And when I mean snack, I mean like seaweed, you know, like very low carb stuff. Because if I had a granola bar, I would probably weigh 10 pounds heavier by the morning. So that's what worked for me, and I created this PDF and I followed this PDF, and although I lost the weight with water fasting, I was able to keep off the weight because I was still sustaining, you know, that healthy lifestyle. And I will drop a video of my before and after so you guys can see like where I started and where I am now in terms of my weight. And you know, I know it's like a very hard journey, and it's really hard for people around us to understand, you know, especially with the weight changes and like the sleep problems and the mood changes. So I'm open to any questions. I want to help as many women as I can when it comes to loving yourself, because I know it's really, really hard, especially with social media expectations of how women should look like this and the beauty standards that are constantly changing. It's like a lot of women, especially the younger ones, that really don't have any experience of what this is, how to deal with it, because I was once that girl that I had no one to talk to. Doctors would give me very limited information. It was kind of like, oh, you have cysts on your ovaries, and you need to take such and such medicine, you know, birth control and all this jazz that not all of us are open to. So please leave your comments below. I'm more than happy to answer your questions as much as I can, and I do have a PDF available for those who need, you know, my guidance when it comes to meal plans and workout plans. And I'm always available in terms of communication, and I will be open to answer any of your questions if you guys do decide to, you know, go on to this journey with me as like PCOS sisters. So yes, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope to see you too. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.